there are basically 5 typical API design style. Okay, so when we create our applications, right, we can actually select any of these styles while designing the APIs. So first one is actually called tunnel style. It is nothing but a remote procedure call. Remote procedure call is actually not new, right? So I mean, it's a very old style, design. Corba and all are having this actually, and even recent times, like Google gRPC has remote procedure call. So what exactly tunnel style is all about? It's nothing but like you are calling a procedure available in a server instead of calling a API and get data. So it's calling a code basically. So you are calling a function or procedure from which is available in a server, and on a server, if it is available, server will give it back basically. And the underlying protocol is same. It will be HTTP, or any other protocol we can use. But yeah, in a very high level, this is what it is. Like, suppose you have different clients, like Python client or Java client, right? So, and you have a server where the code is available, to use. You can actually do a remote procedure call and get that data to your no to in the client side, and you can create your workflows. So this is a very you know basic or old style, or very old style API design. But yeah, now even Google has this framework like gRPC, which support tunnel style API design. Source style is REST, as we have seen, right? So from the beginning, we are actually using RESTful APIs. So it's like, you are exchanging, getting data as an object, and you should have a unique URL, right? Unique URI for each resource in the server, and client can request for a specific resource and get the data back. So this is called typical, resource style API design. So we have another one similar to resource side. This is called hypermedia style actually. So it's like, you are actually getting data like, resource plus some links from the server. So in a REST API, right? So if you see URI style JSON response in this diagram, you are getting a typical JSON, right? Name and like enrollment year. Suppose you want more details, like you want a link which is pointing to that particular student basically, right? So that in the UI when you represent, right, so yeah, and the person can actually click on that link, and you can go to the next page basically. So this is, and even it's not only for link, like suppose you want to return some medias, and also like maybe the video files or images, image links, audio files. So those kind of things we can use hypermedia style. Like this is example is like web. It's a pure web-based implementation where we can use this kind of stuff. So next is, which we will actually explore more today, is query style basically. Okay, so instead of asking for a request, the client will actually pass a query basically, like what exactly client wants from the server, and server will return only that much. Okay, so when we will use query style, and what are the benefits, we will talk about more in upcoming slides. So uh, so this is again a very important API design, which will help us to reduce the overfetching or underfetching of data in APIs. So instead of like in resource style you will send the data, right? So here you will be sending a queries. GraphQL is a query style API design. Okay, so query style example is GraphQL basically. And event driven style also I talked little bit, right, in our last session about like MQTT example, like MQTT, Kafka and all, right? So where application basically sends events, and based on events we need to take some decisions. So in that case we can go ahead with event driven style of API design. So basically, these are the four most popular API design styles generally we use in our applications. Most probably in your whatever applications you are working on right now, any one of this you should be able to see.